Bhutan, the Himalayan kingdom where happiness is the law. Tucked between two global giants, India and China, lies a mystical kingdom that seems, honestly, untouched by the rush of the modern world. With snow-capped peaks, centuries-old monasteries, and a national philosophy centered on happiness rather than GDP, Bhutan remains one of the most enigmatic and alluring travel destinations on Earth. Often described as the last Shangri-La, Bhutan isn't just a place you visit. It's a place that, well, changes how you see the world. From its strict tourism policy and pristine landscapes to its deeply spiritual culture, Bhutan stands as a rare model of balance between tradition and progress, solitude and connection, nature and humanity. In this journey, we'll explore what makes Bhutan unique, why it remains so exclusive, and what you can expect when journeying through this Himalayan haven. Subscribe for more adventures. Where is Bhutan, and why is it so special? Bhutan is a small, landlocked country located in the eastern Himalayas, bordered by India to the south and China to the north. With a population of less than 800,000 people, it's one of the smallest countries in Asia. Yet its cultural and ecological significance is, honestly, profound. Bhutan's global reputation is rooted in its philosophy of gross national happiness, or GNH, a concept introduced in the 1970s by the fourth king, Jigme Singye Wangchuck. While most countries measure success by economic output, Bhutan values spiritual well-being, sustainable development, and environmental conservation. This national ethos is not just symbolic, it's embedded in policy, education, healthcare, and even tourism. In Bhutan, happiness is not a personal pursuit, it's a collective goal. Gross national happiness, a philosophy that guides a nation. Unlike anywhere else, Bhutan has institutionalized the idea that quality of life matters more than quantity of income. Gross national happiness is built on four core pillars: sustainable and equitable socio-economic development, conservation of the environment, preservation and promotion of culture, and good governance. These principles are not just slogans. They guide decisions from rural development to international diplomacy. As a result, Bhutan remains one of the least polluted, most forested, and culturally intact nations on Earth. Visitors to Bhutan often notice something intangible but powerful: a sense of peace. People are polite, spiritual, and community-oriented. Monks chant in hilltop monasteries. Farmers cultivate terraced rice fields beneath fluttering prayer flags. It feels timeless, intentional, and honestly, pretty inspiring. Why Bhutan is one of the world's most exclusive travel destinations. Bhutan is not a budget destination, and that's by design. To preserve its culture and environment, the country has adopted a high-value, low-volume tourism policy. This means tourists must pay a sustainable development fee, currently $100 per day as of 2025. Travel must be arranged through licensed tour operators. Independent backpacking is not permitted without a guide. These rules deter mass tourism and ensure that the people who visit Bhutan truly appreciate its values. The fees contribute to free healthcare, education, and infrastructure development within the country. The result? Bhutan avoids the traps of over-tourism, maintains its cultural authenticity, and keeps nature pristine, all while offering visitors an incredibly personal and meaningful travel experience. Bhutan is a paradise for hikers, nature lovers, and photographers. Nearly 70% of the country is covered in forest, and much of it is protected as national parks or biological corridors. Bhutan is also the world's only carbon-negative country. It absorbs more carbon dioxide than it emits. Some of the key natural highlights include Phobjikha Valley, which is a glacial valley home to the endangered black-necked cranes, and Ha Valley, a hidden gem for those seeking tranquility and traditional villages. There's also Punakha, the subtropical region known for rice paddies, river rafting, and the majestic Punakha Dzong. Jigme Dorji National Park is a vast reserve with snow leopards, red pandas, and Himalayan blue poppies. Hiking trails in Bhutan range from peaceful forest walks to intense multi-day treks that traverse snow-capped passes. Thanks to Bhutan's commitment to conservation, you'll often find you have these trails almost entirely to yourself. Bhutan is deeply Buddhist, and its spiritual architecture reflects centuries of devotion. Monasteries, or dzongs, are scattered across cliffs, valleys, and riversides. Places designed not just for defense, but for meditation and enlightenment. The crown jewel is Punakha Dzong, also known as Tiger's Nest Monastery. No trip to Bhutan is complete without hiking to Tiger's Nest, which is truly one of the most iconic and breathtaking sacred sites in the world. Perched on a cliff 3,000 feet above the Phobjikha Valley, the monastery is said to be where Guru Rinpoche flew on a tigress in the 8th century to subdue a demon. The 2 to 3 hour uphill trek is a spiritual journey in itself, with prayer wheels, pine forests, and glimpses of the monastery keeping you motivated. At the top, you're rewarded with a view that's nothing short of divine. Other notable spiritual sites include Punakha Dzong, a fortress at the junction of two rivers known for its architecture and annual festivals, Phobjikha Valley, often referred to as Bhutan's spiritual heartland, and Phobjikha Dzong, which is the largest dzong in Bhutan and offers panoramic mountain views. In Bhutan, culture is not preserved in museums. It's lived daily. Traditional dress with the go for men and kira for women is worn by most citizens. Festivals known as chechus bring entire towns together in celebration, featuring masked dances, music, and blessings. Homes are adorned with colorful paintings and woodwork, and Bhutanese cuisine offers a spicy, hearty experience, with dishes like emadachi, chilies and cheese, taking center stage. Language, dance, art, and storytelling are passed down through generations, often in monastic schools or during seasonal gatherings. Visitors are often invited to join in village ceremonies or rituals, taste homemade butter tea, learn about Bhutanese astrology and medicine, and watch sacred mass dances at festivals. Rather than being catered to as a tourist, you're welcomed as a respectful observer of an intact way of life. Trekking in Bhutan offers adventure seekers something really special. It's physically challenging, but also honestly, spiritually enriching. Unlike the more crowded Himalayan trails you might find in Nepal or India, treks in Bhutan feel remote and totally immersive. Some of the most popular trekking routes include the Druk Path Trek, which is a 5 to 6 day trail connecting Paro and Thimphu, and it features these beautiful alpine lakes and old monasteries. Then there's the Jomolhari Trek, which is tougher and usually takes about 8 to 12 days, passing close to Bhutan's sacred peak, Mount Jomolhari. And, for those looking for a true test, there's the Snowman Trek. Seriously, it's considered one of the world's most difficult treks, crossing 11 high-altitude passes over more than 25 days. All of these treks are fully guided, and your gear is carried by horses or yaks, so you can focus on the journey. At night, you'll sleep in tents beneath the stars, surrounded by mountain silence with the distant sound of Buddhist chants as your backdrop. So, the best times to visit Bhutan are during spring, which is March through May, and autumn, from September to November, when the skies are clear and festivals are in full swing. These seasons, honestly, offer just ideal weather for trekking and photography. Winter, which runs from December to February, is colder, but it's perfect for quiet, crowd-free exploration. On the other hand, summer, from June to August, is lush, but a bit rainy due to the monsoon. Now, here are some important travel notes. Bhutan requires a visa, which is arranged through a licensed tour operator. Travel packages typically include a guide, driver, accommodations, meals, and permits. There's actually only one international airport, located in Paro, with flights mostly from India, Nepal, Thailand, and Singapore. Bhutan's strict entry rules and fees might seem a little limiting at first, but they are honestly key to preserving what makes the country so special. Bhutan is not about chasing luxury or checking off landmarks. It's really about slowing down, breathing deeply, and connecting with something ancient and sacred, both outside and within yourself. In a world that's, kind of overrun by noise and rush, Bhutan teaches the power of stillness, of purposeful living, and of choosing happiness over haste. For those lucky enough to experience it, Bhutan becomes more than just a memory. It becomes a personal philosophy. So, if you're seeking authentic experiences, unspoiled nature, and maybe even a bit of spiritual renewal, Bhutan might just be the most meaningful trip you'll ever take. And hey, subscribe for more adventures. Happy travels!